Good morning, class 12th Commerce. This is your subject Economics, chapter number 4, Money, lecture number 3. In this lecture, we shall discuss about supply of money, measurement of money supply, and some of the important terms which we will be using in our different chapters of macroeconomics. So, first let's begin with the meaning and supply of money. What is money supply? Money supply is one of the important indicator of a macroeconomics environment. Macroeconomics, economics which is studied at large, which is studied at the economy at the whole. So, money supply is one of the important component of the macroeconomics. This refers to the total volume of money circulating in the economy at a point of time. Underline this, at a point of time. So what do you mean, what can you analyze from this point of time, at a point in time? This word we have used in our concept of stock and flow, period of time, point of time. So money supply is a stock concept because it refers to the total stock of money held by the people of a country at a particular point of time. So, money supply is stock concept. This is your one marker question. Then, money supply in an economy determines liquidity condition in the market, which in turn impact interest rate structure and hence the cost of capital to the firms. Now, what is cost of capital? Cost of capital includes money which is raised from the shareholders plus which is borrowed from the debentures. So, it include both owners fund as well as borrowed funds. So, the cost of raising the capital is known as cost of capital. Fine. So, money supply determines the liquidity condition in the market. If there is more supply of money, that means there is more liquidity. That means people have more purchasing power in the economy. And it is also important to note that supply of money does not include the stock of money held by the government and the stock of money held by the banking system of the country, because banking system of the country and the government, they both are the suppliers of money. So money held with the suppliers of money is not included in money supply, and the stock of money held by the suppliers of money is never treated as a part of money supply in the country, because if we'll include them, it will only increase or the net worth, or it will not show the true picture of money supply in the economy. Fine. So supply of money includes only that stock of money which is held by those who demand money, not by those who supply money. And who demands money are the depositors, are the regular customers, are the people of the country. Fine. So, money supply refers to the amount of money which is in circulation of the economy at a given time. जो money economy में circulate हो रही है, which is exchanging the hands, that money is known as money supply. That amount of money is known as money supply. Money supply plays a crucial role in the determination of price level and interest rate. First of all, we have done the market equilibrium with the help of demand and supply. Fine, we have analyzed the equilibrium price, and we have done the equilibrium quantity. Similar way, money supply and money demand of money and supply of money, they also determines the price level and interest rate. Growth of money supply helps in acceleration of economic development and price stability. But this also lead to the inflation. If there is more money supply in the economy, definitely it will lead to the inflation. Because the purchasing power of the people will increase, salary of the employees will increase, production cost of the employer will increase, and indirectly or directly selling cost of the product will also increase. So there must be controlled expansion of money supply, and that is no inflation, no deflation in the economy. Agar money supply will be less, it will lead to the deflation problem. If there will be more money supply, it will lead to the inflation problem. So sum up of this is that money supply should be there in the adequate amount, in the balanced form. Fine. So from this concept, two questions can be formed. One is define money supply and state whether money supply is a stock concept or a flow concept. So you will just state supply of money is a stock concept because it refers to the total amount of money held by the people at a point of time. One question this can be framed. Second question can be framed, that is, do we include stock of money held by the government and stock of money held by the banking system in our money supply? So you will say no, because they are the supplier of money. Fine. Money supply is the total quantity of money that is in the economy at a particular point of time. Now, economists use several alternative definitions for the money supply. Each definition includes the amount of currency in circulation, fine, plus sub-types of deposit liabilities of the financial institutions. Currency which is in circulation in the economy plus bank deposits. देखो, जो money circulation में है, with the money which is exchanging the hands, that is included in money supply, plus बैंक में जो भी पैसा रखा है as a demand deposits, that is also included in the money supply. Now, what is a demand deposit? See, demand deposits are those deposits which can be withdrawn on the demand of the customers, which can be withdrawn on the demand of the clients. These are also known as checkable deposits. Fine, there is a difference between fixed deposits and demand deposits. Fixed deposits are fixed for a certain period of time. But demand deposits, they can be withdrawn by the customer anytime they demand, at any point of time. Now, how to measure कि economy में कितना money supply है? So, there are certain methods to measure money supply in the economy. 4 methods are there: M1, M2, M3 and M4. Please understand this very carefully. This is the most important question of this chapter. Components of money supply. Definitely there are 90% chances of this question to come in your exam. Components of money supply. 4 components: M1, M2, M3, M4. See, M1 means cash with the public, currency held by the public. It also include coins as well as paper notes, plus demand deposit with the bank. Demand deposit are the checkable deposits which can be withdrawn or transferred on demand, plus other deposits with RBI. Now other deposits with RBI includes deposit of foreign government with RBI, deposit of financial institution like Industrial Development Bank of India, for example NABARD, and demand deposit of IMF and World Bank with RBI. So other deposits means NABARD के डिपॉजिट हो गए, IDBI के डिपॉजिट्स हो गए, वर्ल्ड बैंक के डिपॉजिट्स हो गए, IMF के डिपॉजिट्स हो गए, फॉरेन सेंट्रल बैंक्स और फॉरेन गवर्नमेंट्स के डिपॉजिट्स हो गए. सो दीज आर व्हाट? These are the other deposits with RBI, and you have to learn the name of these other deposits. Fine. So M1 includes cash with the public, demand deposit with the banks, and other deposits with RBI. Then we have M2. M2 is M1 plus demand deposits with post office saving bank account or with post office. Then M3. M3 is M1 plus time deposits with the commercial banks. Time deposits means your fixed deposits, which are deposits for a certain period of time. So M3 is M1 plus time deposit with the commercial bank. Then M4. M4 is M3 plus total deposits with the post office, and this total deposit does not include national saving certificates. Fine. So if money supply in the economy, in the country, is measured using M3, we find the aggregate monetary resource of the country. So let me give you a detailed explanation of M1. See, all are important, all four are important, but M1 contains some components which you have to learn. See, M1 is equal to C plus DD plus OD. C stands for currency held by the people, held by the public. DD means demand deposits of the people held by the commercial bank. कमर्शियल बैंक आपके एक्सिस बैंक हो गया, SBI बैंक हो गया, यूनियन बैंक हो गए, इंडसइंड बैंक हो गया, पंजाब नेशनल बैंक है आपका, विजया बैंक है. सो दीज आर ऑल कमर्शियल बैंक्स. n number of commercial banks we have. Fine. So currency held by the commercial bank, demand deposits held by the commercial bank, and OD. OD refers to demand deposits of foreign government, foreign banks, World Bank, IMF, International Monetary Fund, NABARD, National Agriculture Bank for Rural Development with RBI. Fine. So in सबके deposits with RBI is included in other deposits. Now there is another question which comes, that is, who supplies money in the economy? Majorly there are three suppliers of money: government, RBI and commercial bank. Fine. But printing का काम जो होता है that is done by the RBI. बेसिकली जो डायरेक्ट जहाँ से इशुएंस होती है दैट इज RBI. फाइन. तो RBI इशूज करेंसी नोट्स. RBI ओनली इशू नोट्स, नॉट कॉइन्स. Coins are issued by the Ministry of Finance. Ministry of Finance issues 1 rupee note and all the coins, whereas all the currency notes except 1 rupee note is issued by RBI. And RBI maintains minimum reserve of 200 crores. And this 200 crores include 115 crore gold plus 85 crores of foreign securities. That means if the government wants to take, if government orders RBI to print the notes, to issue the notes, then government has to keep 200 crore as collateral. And in this 200 crore, 115 crore gold and 85 crore foreign securities. Then see, demand deposits is same as checkable deposits, and they both are the synonym of bank money. Bank money is same as demand deposits, and this is same as checkable deposits. Now, what is high powered money? See, high powered money means currency held by the people plus vault cash of commercial bank plus cash reserves of commercial bank with RBI. We'll discuss in the next chapter banking in detail, but this is very important one marker question. What is high powered money? So reserves, cash reserves of commercial bank with RBI, currency held by the people plus vault cash of the commercial bank. Most important one marker question, what is high powered money? Then another one marker question which is important, that what is narrow money and what is broad money. M1 and M2, they both are narrow money. Fine. Whereas M3 and M4, they are broad money. So here we complete our chapter money.